listen to the music all the time.
Whenever your tears will dry, I'll be there.
I kissed a girl and I liked it.
But baby, can't you see? There's nothing else for me to do. If only you knew the love we share. If only you knew how much I care.
You make me feel cheated and rotten to the core.
I'm hopelessly devoted to you.
Taste of her cherry chapstick.
I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier.
Cause I've heard it, and I've seen it, and I've done it all before. Screw you, I don't need you anymore.
My dear, my dear, my dear.
Least favorite chore? I don't know. This?
Probably just picking up after a mess.
I don't know about you, but I absolutely hate doing the dishes. Wet food is disgusting.
Having to reach things up high for smaller dogs.
Well, I have to do all of them, so in that case, I don't like any of them.
I would rather die again than have to do the dishes one more time.
I'm kind of vegan, so I guess I don't really like hunting.
Cleaning up after Aster.
I'm feeling pretty awkward today. Like, I didn't ask to be here.
I'm great, thank you for asking. A little hungry, but that's okay.
I think I'm doing pretty okay.
Still some tension in the air, but besides that, I mean, I've had a pretty good day.
Oh, I'm doing just peachy.
Funny enough, I just got over some reaper sickness, but I'm way better now. I had my nose holes closed.
Well, that is an interesting question.
I'd beat up a giraffe and eat the corn dog.
First, I'd probably scream. Then I'd get Aster to eat the corn dog and have Violet come with me to ride away with the giraffe.
I do what?
Am I dreaming?
That'd be so awesome! I'd probably give them both hugs and ask what their lives are like. And if there are others, we could all go on an adventure together.
Conspiracy theories? What are you, a child? Such things don't exist. I've been to quite a lot of places, and never seen anything worth worrying about. Nope.
What?
I've had an experience with aliens before, but it's top secret.
Who doesn't believe in conspiracy theories?
I mean, things can happen, things can change. I mean, we'll never know the truth until things are proven right.
That's just a theory. A reaper theory.
I'd probably choose invisibility. I think I'd appreciate some alone time.
Oh, invisibility! Then I'd be the best at secret spies.
I think flying would be an interesting superpower.
Invisibility? Duh.
I'd choose flight. I just think it's so magical that with just a second of flight, you can be somewhere else.
I already got wings.
I've kind of always wondered what it would be like to be a ghost.
Flight. Invisibility's overrated.
Props to Ebony for having to be a leader in his own family.
I'd have to say Thistle, because they were so brave and so honest.
Me, of course. I'd start my own gang with these guys.
I guess I'd have to say Violet. Helping me out was so brave, and I'm so very grateful to her.
What in the world is a Mimi?
I love the Italian meme.
Nico, Nico, nee.
It's really catchy. It's like, da, ya, da, 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 ya, da, 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 da.
I like the outstretched Kermit the Frog on a one-wheeled bike.
My favorite is definitely the picture of the man who played Willy Wonka. He looks all sarcastic. It's great.
Free Shavakadu?
21?
Yeah, Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled pepper.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peck of pepper.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a Peter Pepper.
If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers,
Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper.
Where are the pickled peppers? Peter Piper pickled.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled Ow, my paw.
Peter Piper picked a peck of Ugh!
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers, where are the pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Was that supposed to be hard?
It's like elevator music, you know? You just gotta chill sometimes.
I believe they called it rock.
I honestly really like pop and dance electronic.
Happy music, or anything Daddy sings to me.
I really enjoy classical or indie music.
Classic rock. Oh yeah, baby, ain't nothing like the classics. Oh, this will be good.
Do your best impressions of me? Oh, come on.
I'm Nay. I'm a whiny brat.
I'm practically held against my will to help people. I have a bratty attitude.
My parents don't let me do anything.
I cry a lot emotionally because the job of doing this is too hard.
Sheesh, you guys make me sound so mean.
Nah, your puns are stupid. Just shut up, imp.
Oh, well, you haven't really been honest with me, so I mean, like it really matters.
Imp! Imp, what did you do?
Imp? What did you do?
Imp, what did you do? Do I really sound like that? I mean, not really, considering I'm dead. It's going pretty good. I think I'm starting to really get the hang of this. Of course I miss my parents. Yeah, they were kind of strict and kind of mean, but they did it for my own good, and I really could use their help with all this. I want to be with my best friend Kate and my other two good friends, Devo and Simon. I really miss them. I'm not really sure. I mean, I got in pretty big trouble and I would probably still be grounded, but all these people wouldn't have been helped, so everything happens for a reason, right? Ugh, why would you even ask that? He's so repulsive looking, inside and out. Thanks, but that's not a question. No, I really don't. I really wanted to be myself, and nothing held me back. I wanted to be free. I wanted to go and do my own thing. I wanted to go and live my life. Unfortunately, I got it taken away, but I've learned a lot because of it, so I'm really proud of my decision. Ugly. My friends and I would go out into the forest at night and we would tell ghost stories, and it was the best thing. It was honestly some of the best moments of my life. I'm doing really well. I think I'm really getting the hang of this, but as much as I love helping people, I really do miss home. I had never been exposed to anything quite like that, and it honestly scared me, and I'm just so much more aware now that things like that do happen, and violence does happen, and it sort of opened my eyes and sort of taught me how great peace is. It's a lot of pressure knowing that you're the only one that can help these people. I'm always afraid that I'm going to mess up, but I know I can at least try. As fun as it is, it's sort of hard to grasp their entire life's memories in just a few seconds and then make decisions and respond to other people that I completely do not know. It's pretty challenging. I haven't broken a wall, but I've definitely punched one before. Haha, so funny. I'm laughing so hard right now. Ebony gave me the least amount of trouble, and I had pretty much full control. It was honestly a relief after Thistle and Heather and even Ivy, where some of them were very hard to control, but even though Ebony had a child, it was still easier just to navigate.
You know, at that time I was a little peeved, but if I just send her to the underworld and that's it, what would everything that we've done amount to, you know? I really do believe that you need to be the change in the world that you want to see. So being positive is part of it. I answered this before, didn't I? Ugh, God. Ugh, that's disgusting. I like to think that I'm pretty tall for a Reaper. I was wrongly accused of something that I didn't do. Clearly, didn't do anything wrong. Nope, not me. I have a little special someone back home. You know, I don't know if it's really fair to ask it like that. I don't hate her, but she makes it really hard to like her. Why would I lie?
Because you always lie?
No, I wouldn't lie about something like that. I love you.
No, you
okay,
don't.
Come here.
No, what are you doing? You're so weird!
Well, sure you can. Free Reaper hugs. Imaginary stub hugs all around. The short of it is, I died, to say it nicely, I got goofed over by some spirits, and I ended up getting trained to become a Reaper. Oh, actually, I was thinking about chatting up Shiva. I actually haven't talked to her in a long time, and I have some unfinished business I need to settle. So, you know, just thought I'd shoot the breeze, see what's up. Pointy shrimp? I don't know. I guess they're cool. I'm not planning anything. What are you talking about? I just want May to get back to her life, you know? It was unfortunate that she kind of got struck by lightning and all. So, yeah, I just thought, hey, little old Reaper here. I thought I'd help her out. You know what? I'm kind of used to this stuff. I've been a Reaper for, oh God, I don't even know how long. But yeah, I'm kind of an old hat at this stuff. She panics a whole lot more than I do. That's not me just being mean. That's just an honest critique. It really depends on whether or not I think she can handle the situation, and whether or not anything that I do is actually worth anything. Unfortunately, you can't always change someone's fate. You know, if Reapers didn't need to eat, I'd be a total goner. I haven't eaten in years.
Mabel only had a tear in her wing. But no need to worry, she's made a full recovery and is doing well. Me and Zinnia were friends in the past. Actually, we co-founded the gang. We had a pretty strong bond and all, but the reason why things went south was because Zinnia took full control of the gang and started doing things that I didn't necessarily agree with.
Hello?
Hi, yeah, I'd like to place an order for a delivery.
Alright.
I'd like a large cheese pizza, please.
Okay, second meal?
That would be all.
Alright, it's gonna be $13.19. Cash your card.
Okay, hold on. Give me a moment. Mabel! Do you want anything? No, my friend doesn't want anything. Yeah, that'll be, I'll pay with cash.
Alright, it'll be about 40 minutes.
Alright, thank you. And you rule.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't even know you. If people don't take time to know me, then that's their loss. If I instill fear in someone, it means I've done my job. It's better to be feared than loved. Again, me and Zinnia co-founded the gang together. Actually, we started out as a collaboration project to help out the community. Once our numbers began to grow, Zinnia started using the gang for her own selfish wealth. She wanted the gang to thrive off power. I had different visions for it. And evidently, nothing really worked out between us. I use they, them pronouns, and I like to consider myself as agender, thank you very much. Thanks, I really appreciate the support. It's nice to know someone out there gets it. She's a brittle turn, I think. Well, I was born female, but the whole feminine thing never really caught on to me. I actually went through a stage where I was a male once, but the whole thing wasn't different. So I decided to go for the next best thing. Why not try neither? Well, I like to go on long walks. Also, I like to sharpen my claws on old trees, just in case someone's gonna mess with me. But I have always wanted to be an actor. I don't care that we share one, but you gotta admit, my voice is a lot better. I was out for a really long walk until I saw Yarrow lying down underneath a tree. She seemed upset, so I decided to go see what was going on. She told me that her brother was being verbally abusive towards her, so I went up to him and I beat the living daylights out of him. After that, I offered Yarrow to stay with me for a little while until she could get back on her feet again. And after that, well, we were together for a pretty long time. I don't really care where she went. As far as I'm concerned, I'll never see her again. And you know what? I think I like it that way.
Cocky? I'm not cocky. I just say what I want when I want. I spent too damn long keeping quiet, being some shy little squirt, but not anymore. My way isn't just the best way, it's the only way. I'm not mean. Everyone else just lacks spine. If you can't handle the heat, get out of the fire, or whatever. I feel bad for anything that can't handle the truth. The man. I am the man, or woman, but it's simple. You don't agree with something? Change it. There. Any more questions? World of what? I don't play games. What a waste. Roasted is a strong word, but if you must know, I guess I feel... what's the word I'm looking for? Bad? Ugh, that's a word I wish I didn't need to use. I may not have wanted Thistle in the gang, but we were once on good terms. Maybe everything I put them through was a bit much. Oh God, who am I? I am arrogant, I will tell you that. But I also have empathy, because a lack of it only means you are ignorant.
Well, I mean, obviously I was deeply upset about her leaving, and a part of me still is. But, there's no point in holding on to anger. I mean, neither one of us were ready to bear the responsibility of parenthood. And if I ever was to see her again, I really don't know what I'd say. I mean, part of me wants to believe that I'd be strong enough to listen to my head when it tells me that getting back together with her would be a bad idea. But there's an even bigger part of me that wants nothing more than for her to come back so we can be a family again. I guess love is for fools. And the heart's the biggest fool of them all, isn't it? Well, she's a pawful like always, but she's doing pretty well. She's adjusting well after settling in here, but she still misses her mama sometimes, Look, Jasmine and I are not a couple. I mean, it's not that I don't like her or anything like that. I mean, she's quirky and fun, but I'm just not ready to be in a relationship right now after everything that happened with Camellia, okay? That little imp character actually came to me the night before May entered my body and explained everything to me. He told me what was up, and he asked me if it was okay for her to enter my body. Just at least temporarily anyway. So, of course I said yes, and the next morning I knew exactly what was happening. I guess somebody out there heard my cries for help after all. That idea never crossed my mind. Not even once. Daisy's my entire world, and I would never abandon her. Never. Well, I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot of each other after the tour, but that went off without a hitch, so I feel like if we were to bump into each other on the streets, we'd say hey, and we'd hang out for a little while, and everything would be fine. only met 2 days ago, so I mean, there's really not a whole lot I can say about that, you know? Well, I mean, I hope she doesn't, but raising her so far has been fairly easy, so I'm sure I'm in for rebellion at some point. Food and proper shelter for Daisy were constant worries of mine, and of course I didn't care about myself, because Daisy's more important to me. But there was one incident on our journey from Maryland which haunts me to this day. We hadn't found any food to speak of for almost a week. Daisy was so weak from hunger that she couldn't even walk. I was so afraid that I was going to lose her. I couldn't let that happen. I was desperate. I had to find her food by any means necessary. So I left her alone beneath a stack of wood and went off on my own into one of the local neighborhoods. I knew that cats prowled around human towns unsupervised, and it was my plan to find one. It didn't take long before I came across one sleeping beside a fence, and I snuck up behind her while she slept, and I killed her. But Daisy couldn't know what I'd done, so I stripped the remains of what meat I could and brought it back to her. I mean, it wasn't much, and I've never forgiven myself for what I did. But my daughter is alive today because of her sacrifice, and I'll never forget that. If we ever meet on whatever star the Lantern Bearer places us on, I can only hope that she'll forgive me.
It's great! Jessie lets Papa and me stay in her house, and her house is really cool. It doesn't smell too good, but it's fun to play in. And there's this huge window I can see all the trains go by from. It's going great. We had 2 whole sleepovers. Jessie plays games with me like, Tickle Monster, and chases me around. It's so much fun. Pie? Ooh, I wish I could have pie. I've never had it before, so I'd take any pie I can get. First of all, it's Secret Spies. But yeah, we play it all the time. It's my new favorite game. Papa is the bad guy, and Jessie and me have to try and spy on him. Thank you. I don't really miss my old homes. They weren't as fun as Jessie's. Sometimes, when Mama was still with us, we just kept walking and walking and walking. I got so tired. Why does everyone keep saying that I'm cute? Thank you again. I love all flowers. They're so color-filled and pretty, and they smell so nice. What? I love my mama and my papa. I can't love one more than the other. Wait a second. I answered this question already. I miss Mama a lot. I hope she comes back soon so she can meet Jessie and play Secret Spies with us. I always miss Mama, but it's okay. I know she'll come back soon. Papa said so. I think so. Not too sure though. Oopsies. Sorry, I didn't know.
Well, I'd be lying to myself if I said that I didn't. Don't get me wrong, I really loved Ebony. He was great, he was kind, funny, and always tried to keep the mood bright, but in the end, it's my life. I should live it how I want to. It would be wrong to drag little Daisy and Ebony down with me just because I felt like I didn't belong. Against her? Oh, no, it's nothing like that. I'm against those that take my freedom. And unfortunately, Ebony did exactly that. When Daisy was born, Ebony turned into somewhat of a control freak. You can't go there because of Daisy. You can't do this because of Daisy. You can't have that because of Daisy. It was ruining me. It was frustrating me, and it's not fair to bring a child into the middle of that. If I stayed, my frustrations would have only rubbed off on them, and we would have not been a happy family. don't like, as in hate? No! No, goodness. As much as you might find this hard to believe, I actually loved Daisy. Just like any mother would. I would have loved to have stayed and help her to become a fine young pup, but the relationship with Ebony made that difficult, and she was just thrown in the middle of it all. Ebony gave all his attention to her, and never spared a thought for me. That may sound like what it's supposed to be like, but if you were actually living it like I was, you may understand the situation. Another pup? You're joking, right? I mean, look what happened with Daisy. It's not for me. I really do not like sitting around and all the other stuff that comes with raising kids. No. I do not want another pup, thank you. When I was younger, a lot of the first part of my life was spent cooped up in a cage. All I knew were bars all around me, and there was barely enough space to run, maybe even walk sometimes. My owners really didn't know how to look after me properly. And the days used to drag on, and it was horrible, really horrible. One day I found my chance to escape, so I took it, and I never looked back since. All I've known now is freedom, running where I wish, going where I want, and almost doing whatever I please. It was great, I loved it. And then that's when I met Ebony, and things were all great for me, and then Daisy happened, and everything went south. And that's why I left. I just can't bear the thought of staying in one place ever again. No. Once I tasted freedom, that was it. I didn't want to know anything different. Freedom is what I want, and want to keep for the rest of my life.
Well, if you want the Nia Sports so badly, then go get it yourself, kiddo! Do I have a crush on, you mean Ebony? More like he's gonna get crushed in Mario Kart. Am I right, kids? How have thongs been with Ebony? Are you guys dating? How did I find them? Did you watch the episode, buddy? Oh, I trust Ebony's not a pup napper anymore. But, I don't think he should really be trusting me, though, 'cause Daisy's mine now.
Well, I'm actually not a dog. I'm a short-haired cat. And of course you can have a hug. Well, it hasn't been very long since my mother found out. Tensions are pretty high right now, but I think that they'll subside eventually. It just feels normal. I guess a way to put it is it just feels right. It feels like love. Well, unfortunately, I kind of gave a bad first impression to Violet, but then we started hanging out and sharing stories, and I started to develop a little bit of a crush on her. Then I saw how proud she was to be her, and I just fell in love. Before I knew Violet and before I was so comfortable with myself, I tried to be someone else, someone bouncy and energetic, and it just wasn't me. And then we started hanging out and we got along a lot better, and she helped me become who I am. One day, I came up to her and I just started crying and telling her about how frustrated I was with being a different person in front of all my friends. And she just kind of calmed me down and popped the girlfriend question. So, I guess it's been a while. I kind of owed all to my friends. I started seeing how they treated each other, and I didn't really go off my parents anymore. I went off of them. Hi, Q? Well, I like cherry pie. I like to go to the park. I like to eat food. At first, I didn't really know what was wrong with me. I thought it was weird to like someone that was the same gender as me, but then it just started to get stronger and stronger, and eventually I just told her, and she kind of told me that she felt the same. It's going pretty amazing. I couldn't ask for anything better. I didn't really become gay. I was born with it. I just never really realized it until I fell in love. You have your whole life, so you should always take your time to find yourself. Don't rush anything, and be patient. My favorite memory is with Violet and Aster. We were going to have a race by the pond in autumn, so it was pretty cold, and Aster screamed go, and Violet slipped and fell into the cold water, and no one knew because we all just ran. When we realized Violet wasn't coming, we came back and found her soaking wet in the pond with a lily pad on top of her head. She caught a cold, but it was so funny. The only thing that I can think that gave me courage is my guardian angel. She led me through everything. Even when I knew that there was failure, she helped me so much, and I couldn't have done it without her. I'm completely open with Violet and I's relationship. We weren't before, but now we totally are, and I've told my friends and my parents and everybody. Well, my life is going pretty great right now. I have my girlfriend, and I'm completely open with my relationship with her, and my brother is so accepting, and everything is just going perfect.
So, from childhood trauma, I'm actually afraid of frogs. We went to the creek one time, and my father picked one up, and usually when you pick up a frog, it starts going like and that's what it did, and it was so ear-piercing that I cried myself to sleep that night, and I'm still afraid of frogs to this day. It's kind of rewarding when me and Rose are so public about our lesbian relationship because it opens an eye for other lesbian couples who are too afraid to be themselves and show who they are, so I think it's pretty nice. 1606. I'm not one for physical appearance, but I really, really love Rose's eyes. They're like a light shade of purple and they're beautiful. Don't be sorry, just don't do it again. That's not really your business, but we're doing okay. I generally disagree with homophobes and believe that they aren't very good people, so I guess my opinion on them is strong, but their opinion on us is stronger. Well, it definitely put butterflies in my stomach, in a good way. It was overall a nice, warm feeling, and I'm glad I can call her mine now.
Okay, we'll tell you.
Rose's family moved into this neighborhood a while back, and I had some friends who knew Rose and Aster.
Eventually, we had a group and things were going great.
Then Rose and I started hanging out more and sharing stories, and
I guess you can say that's where I started to have feelings for her.
one day she had a meltdown, and that's when she decided to tell me that she had feelings for me.
That's when Violet told me she had feelings for me too. And ever since then, we've been together.
Salty. I'm not in with this slang that's going on here, but I think you are referring to me as a horrible mother, and that's not the case. I may come off as strict and proper, but it's only for Rose and Aster's good. They need to learn it from somewhere, and they're definitely not getting it from their father. Father doesn't really feel the same. It's not that you're born with it. It's like I was raised thinking it was something taught, and I didn't end up that way, so why should my children? And when she came out, I didn't know what to think. Did I mess up somehow? Because I'm not like that. Her father isn't like that. Her brother isn't like that. I don't know anyone in her life that's like that. So I don't know where she's getting this from. I love Rose, and I never want to see her get hurt. So it's kind of scary. This is the first experience I've ever really had with this sort of thing. And what if I make a mistake? I don't agree with Rose, but I still love her. And something like that won't change how I feel about her. It just scares me. No. I would never talk about this sort of thing with our neighborhood. I don't want Rose's decision to affect the rest of our family. Even though I love her, I don't want to seem like I failed as a parent. And I don't think it's others' places to step in and tell us how to parent. So no, I haven't. It wasn't exactly a desired or chosen thing to occur, but after a while he kind of grew on me, and yeah, he's kind of goofy, and that can annoy the piss out of me. We argue a lot, but I don't know what I'd do without him. He's kind of the first support I had in this situation, and I can't thank him enough for that. I don't know how to feel. It's so sudden. I love Rose, but I'm hurt that she kept this from me. I guess I could see why, but I'm scared for her. What if someone was to hurt her over this? Or she's not accepted, or... Wait. I'm hurting her.
I don't feel the same way my wife does. I don't feel like you can't choose to be born who you are. You have to make yourself how you want to make yourself. Love should be unconditional in every way. For my wife, it's going to take a little bit longer for her, but I mean, I'm delighted to see that she's starting her own life and making it how she wants it, and she's experiencing new things. Well, and sure, no we haven't. That might be something that, well, could help us. I could look into that. Maybe if I go talk to one of the other parents in the neighborhood, maybe they can give me some advice on how to convince my wife just to be a little bit more open about Rose and Violet. We were forced together by the humans at first, for breeding purposes. And we liked each other, but I mean, we butted heads every now and then. I was more of the goofy one, and she was She was a little more uptight and proper, and please don't tell her I said that. But all we had was each other, and that's kind of what kept us afloat. I'd like to have more children with her. I mean, I know how much she loves our purebred line of children. I would love the new ones, and I love the ones I already have. I love Aster, and I love Rose, and nothing will change that.